Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, and this is FlossTube number 65. I want to welcome everyone here. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you coming. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch. Every now and then I might throw in something quilting that I've done or some other stitchy goodness, but for the most part I talk about cross stitch, and I will talk about cross stitch all day today. Not all day today, but for this video. If you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you coming back. And if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for joining me. And if you are a frequent viewer and not a subscriber, think about subscribing and liking this video and all the good things that help my channel grow. Okay. Like I said, this is a channel mostly about cross stitch, so that is what we'll be talking about today. If you hear some noise outside, my neighbor has decided that now is a good time to edge his lawn. So he is out there doing that right now. But I don't think you'll be able to hear it because when people say that on videos, I never hear them unless it's like really loud. But I don't think you'll be able to hear him. I think he's done. But anyway, on to stitching. So this week I have 4 finishes. Now they are small, but they are 4 finishes. And I have 1 restart. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know what that restart is, and you probably know what one of those finishes are. So anyway, and then I have 1 piece that I will be starting and a new floss tuber that I want to talk about. So, and a correction from last week. So that's what we'll be talking about today. So finishes. I am doing for the past year, it'll be a year July 1st, I have been doing the Erica Michaels ABC blocks. They are blocks that are free on Rainbow Gallery website. And they are a block for each letter of the alphabet except for X, Y, and Z are combined, and each block showcases a specialty stitch. I am doing those. Shelley at Proverbs 31:22 has joined me in this endeavor, and we are now nearing the end. We are both getting very tired of these little blocks, but we are persevering because I just finished the letter V right here. I am doing all of these blocks on 28 count even weave that I am dyeing or not dyeing. Some of it's from my stash. I started these blocks originally because I found a bunch of small pieces that I inherited from my mom and just decided these would be perfect to do on them. Now I did make a couple of changes on this block. One, I used a variegated thread, and the variegated thread that I used is a, I think I showed some of the stitching last week, is a vintage J&P Coats that I picked up at a thrift store. I have the new version of it, and there's a lot of white in it. This one did not go to white at all. It was from a dark burgundy almost to a light pink, and I really, really liked it. I did not do as many V's because, as Shelley said, there were way too many V's in this block. I think we're just getting tired of these little blocks. And I decided that the heart did not need to be filled in. So the V stands for the vertical Smyrna, and that is done in between these little stitches right here and right here. And I do have to say it is a neat stitch. I think it gives it great texture, and that is all right here. That's this right here. So I did not fill in my heart because I was tired. And not only that, because I was using a vintage skein from the thrift store, I was almost out and I didn't want to risk running out. So there you go. I made a creative decision not to fill in the heart. There it is, V. And then TUVW, we have W, which is whale, and I'm not sure what the stitch is, and then XYZ. So I will be starting W this week. And then we just have 2 more left, and then we're done. It has been a fun project, but like I said, we are getting tired of them. And I don't want to say we're getting tired of them. I think it's just, it's time. It's a year. I'm glad we persevered, and I'm glad we finished them. And I can't wait to put them together into a quilt. So that is the letter V. I'm excited about that. And then hopefully when I finish them all, I'll be able to I'll showcase them all to you. Anyway, so I'll link those patterns below, and I'll also link you to the Erica Michaels website where she has some updated instructions on making I think she's got the specialty stitch names on the bottom, some different things. I'm not doing all that. I'm just, you know, she came out with that at market this year, so it was kind of late for me to do that. But anyway, that's that. I am also participating in Colorado Cross Stitchers cross stitch camp this summer. I am doing the June block, which was Stitch Something holiday themed. So I picked out a block from Pinker and Pumpkin's blog. I will link that down below. It is called Red, White, and Blue, and I started and finished it. And this is it right here. So this is my block for cross stitch camp. And I just used, I just chose some DMCs, kind of what she called for, but not really. I didn't have some of them, so I just kind of chose whatever. And this is my block. It's cute. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't know. We'll see. I think I have a little frame that would be big enough. I don't know. It might just go in a little box until I decide what to do with it. But that is it right there. And I will link this, Melissa's blog down below. She's got some great stuff. If you have not checked out her blog, you really need to. She's got some amazing things. I really think she should. Melissa, if you're watching, I think you need to get the program. I think you need to learn how to use it. And I think you need to start designing professionally because you're amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that's it right there. Cute. And since I had those colors out, we weren't necessarily watching the Jubilee celebrations, but I was following them along on Facebook, and because I do follow the royal family on Facebook. But you know, I was kind of doing, I was like, you know, I ought to stitch something for the Jubilee. So I found this little pattern on Etsy, and I'll try to remember to link her below. And this popped up on my Instagram feed, and I thought, oh, I need to get this because I think I can stitch this weekend. So basically I used the same, sorry, Queen Elizabeth, but I used the same colors I used for my American Patriotic piece, and I stitched up this. Isn't it cute? It is precious. This right here is actually the leftover variegated flosses. All the burgundies and pinks are the leftover pieces, little bits and pieces I had from the variegated floss from my V block. So all this was just like on the sofa by me, and so I just kept pulling from them. So I just used the same blues and the same golds and reds, well not the red, but green that I used for my red, white, and blue block for this. And I think it came out absolutely adorable. And I'm going to try to find a little frame for that and just put it up somewhere just to commemorate her Platinum Jubilee. So that's another finish. And then I finished my birthday stitch. Now, somewhere along the line in me stitching my birthday stitch, I squished everything up. So there were some pieces. I'm going to show you the picture. So this right here. Somehow or another, my bird has one less leg. It does not have this swirly thing right here because I didn't have room for it. So I don't know what I did. I don't know. My border matched, so I don't know what happened, where I messed up, what went wrong, but it is what it is. And I'm actually kind of happy with it. And I think I have an idea of how I want to frame it up, how I want to display it. But I need to, I'm waiting on an order from Amazon to see if I really like it. And that's it right there. I do need to date it, but that's it. And this is on a 32 count even weave from, I think it's an even weave, Pink Splash Murano from Hobby Lobby that I got on clearance, that I dyed the same day that I dyed the piece for my V block. I just didn't dip it as long. I didn't leave it in as long. I just dipped it and pulled it out. And that's it right there. Cute little stitch. Merritt Crawford did this with me, and so did Kim with the Contented Stitcher, and hers is really super cute. She's already got hers framed. And Shelley at Proverbs 3122 did this with me, and so this was my birthday start, and I did get to finish it this week. So I am thrilled with that, how that came out. Anyway, so this is by Luminous Fiber Arts. I think so. it was a new release, and Merritt actually stitched the model stitch, and I saw it and I fell in love with it, and I was going to ask her to stitch it with me, and then I saw that she stitched the model stitch, and she's like, but I need to stitch my own. So she stitched it with me, so that just made me happy. So anyway, and Shelley's is really, really pretty. She is doing hers on almost a hot pink fabric with purple, I think silks, and it's really look like it's going to be beautiful, but she's doing it over one anyway. But it's gonna be really, really pretty. I just watched her last video, and she was showing it, so I haven't seen an update on it yet, but we'll see. Anyway, and so anyway, part of my WipGo this month was I had picked up this pattern at a thrift store, and it was the whole kit from Hobby Lobby. The whole kit, fabric and everything. And at the same thrift store, there was a bag of fabric. And with the bag of fabric was this. And when I kind of moved the plastic, because they tape them closed, I saw that it contained an already started piece. And so I bought this. And so this was my WipGo. And part of my WipGo was to pick this up and to work on it and to finish it. Well, y'all, I did a couple of rows. If you can tell, if you know where it started, I did about 5 rows of the wing. Went up. Y'all, this is on 36 count linen. If you know me, if you've been around me, 28 is, if I'm going to stitch on something that's not Aida, it's going to be 28, maybe 32. I will stitch on 36, like this right here is 36, but it's small. And I made a mistake. I mean, this is 36 count on something where a mistake is detrimental to the design is not something I like to do, especially something this dark. So I had a talk with myself, and I told myself that as much as I wanted to complete this lady's work, and y'all, she's got, I mean, look at her back. Y'all, beautiful stitching, beautiful, tiny, tiny little stitches. I couldn't complete this. I just couldn't. It's too small. I was making mistakes. I don't want to stitch with a magnifier. I already used 1.5 magnifying readers. I didn't want to go any more. I just didn't want to have all kinds of extra equipment just to stitch. I enjoy stitching, and I didn't want it to be a chore, and I didn't want it to take over the house. I stitch in the living room with my husband. So I just didn't want to do that. So I decided to switch over to a 16 count Aida. So I had promptly made an order at Michael's, picked it up the next morning, and I dyed me some Aida. And so I restarted it, because originally the kit came with 32 count linen, and she did it on 36 count. So I restarted it, and I mean, you can tell there's a definite size difference between, this curve and that curve. Not terribly, but definite. So this is what I did. So I dyed it. I think I did. I should have added a tad bit more gray, but, not too shabby. Oh, crap. I didn't say that, did I? Anyway, let me pull this needle. I had a needle. I will find it with my feet later on. But I gotta keep it at the top so I'll know where I'm at. But this is what I did. So I restarted this yesterday. And that's what I have done. So I am counting for my WipGo. My WipGo goals are to work on something for 4 days a month. And this was called twice. So I have to work on it for 8 days for the month. So I'm counting the 2 days that I worked on this. On this one, I'm counting those because I did work on them. And then I'm counting the 2 days that I work on this. And this will be my first 4 days. So I'm going to work on this for 4 days, for 2 days this week. Anyway, and so that is what I got started. So I'm glad I redid it. I really do want to do it. I like the pattern. The blue is pretty. It's really pretty, the blue and the pink and everything. So I'm glad I restarted it. Because like I said, I don't want what I'm stitching to be a chore. I just don't want it to be something that stresses me out, and it was stressing me out. Just the counting and the... In fact, I even pulled out a tension hoop, which helped, but not enough. And I just remember one thing I forgot to bring that I stitched on. Hold on a second. I'm back. Okay, like I was saying, I want my stitching to be something I enjoy, and I don't enjoy stitching on dark blue 36 count linen. Any kind of linen, because if you remember my Silent Night piece, it was on 36 count linen, and so was Summer Breeze, and I just decided I couldn't do that anymore. Anyway, so one more thing. I was sitting here like, where is that piece? Anyway, my Jeanette Douglas Year of Bouquets. I did not work on May's, and so this week I picked it up and I finished the border. Well, no, I didn't finish the border. I worked on the border, and then this month I'll work on May and June and get those done. So that's what I worked on, just the border. That's it. Yeah, ran all over the house looking for that. I know it's just like a second for y'all, but it took me about 10 minutes to find this thing. It slipped between sofa cushions. Anyway, anyhow, so that's what I went trekking through the house for. Okay, now I need some water. Hang on. Okay, so last week I showed some fabric that Shelley had dyed and she had sent to me. And I said it reminded me of Louisiana, and I'm going to explain what I meant. I explained it to Shelley, and she totally and completely understood. In Louisiana, we have this 19-mile-long bridge called the Atchafalaya Bridge, and it goes over the Atchafalaya Basin, which is essentially a swamp. If you've ever traveled along the Basin Bridge early in the morning, and the sun is rising, and the fog is rising off the swamp, it is the most beautiful sight ever. When we would leave when we were living in Tennessee, and we'd leave to go back to Tennessee, and we'd leave early in the morning, we'd cross over the bridge. Gosh, that made me miss Louisiana. And it was just, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go back to Tennessee. It's just so beautiful. And that's what this reminds me of. Just the blue and the green, and it reminds me so much of the Basin. Anyway, and I mentioned a Nora Corbett design called Evangeline, and I lied, y'all. It is not Nora Corbett. It is a lavender and lace, and this is it right here. And it's called Evangeline, and if you know anything about the story about the Acadians, Evangeline was one of the women, the stories that are told. Longfellow wrote a poem. It's a beautiful poem. It's sad. It's a very sad story, but this is it right here. So I'm considering doing this on here just because of the connection Shelley and I both have to Louisiana and our Cajun heritage, and the fact that she dyed this for me. So I'm going to do a floss toss when I'm getting ready to do this, but I'm going to keep these together. So it is not a Nora Corbett. It is a lavender and lace, and it's called Evangeline. And that's it right there. And I don't think it has any beads. It does call for needle paints. I know those are hard to find, and it calls for some splendors. So I'm going to have to do some searching for some needle paints. I know they're hard to find. I know that, well, I mean, they don't make them anymore, and they do have some DMC alternatives. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I'll keep these together, and then that way, maybe when I finish one of these other ladies that I'm working on, I'll put this into the rotation. So anyway, so that is my correction from last week. It is not a Nora Corbett. It is a lavender lace, which I believe that is her mother that designed those. Anyway, so I do have a new purchase, and it is going to be a new start. And it is by Shannon Christine, and she is also a new FlossTuber. So if you do not follow her, go to her new FlossTube channel. I will link it down below. But she has her new Christmas club up, and it is 12 Days of Christmas. And this is it right here. And I will be doing it as one piece. And she does have information on her Facebook group on doing it as one piece. And so 1 and 2 are out. If you join the club now, you can't get 1 and 2, but you can purchase them individually on her website. So that is going to be a new start either this week or next. Not quite sure. But there are people that have already finished them. She says you can get them done in a weekend. But go check out her new FlossTube. She just did it. And pretty excited about that. So it was neat watching her and talking about her dad does her model stitching, which I thought was fabulous. I did go to my thrift store. They didn't have much there in the way of cross-stitch goodies, but I did find some vintage linens. And one day, I will make a vintage linen quilt. I have this drawer that's filled with vintage linens that I've purchased. And then I have the bag that your comforter comes in. I have a bag full of those vintage linens from my great-grandmother and her sister. So anyway, so here's some more vintage linens that I picked up. This is a table runner, and it usually both sides are done, but just this one side is done. So this is so pretty. So one day I'll get a vintage linen quilt on. And then I picked up this one. This one's round, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. Kelly Klein, I think that's her name. She does long arming on vintage linens, and I wish I had a long arm. I'm sure I could do it on a regular machine, but anyway, so this is it right here. Look at that bird. Now, there are some women that would cut it out, and I've considered doing that. But the trim on this is just so beautiful. Look at that. So I've considered what she's done. Klein. I know her last name's Klein. I think it's Kelly Klein. Karen Klein? Anyway, I'll link her YouTube channel down below. She will take these and just basically put batting, put backing, and then quilt them. I mean, look at that work. So pretty. I might do that and then just make a round quilted table topper or something. I don't know. But this is definitely hand crocheted on there. Now, this is a lot of work. I can't bring myself to cut it. I just can't. Anyway, beautiful. It's it. I think if it had more damage, I would, but it's not damaged. It's got one tiny little hole, a couple of stains. It's so pretty. Anyway, so that is it. That was all I purchased. I did get my beads for my daughter's Princess Eliana. Not very exciting. They're just some beads, a pack of beads. Nothing thrilling there. I am going to start collecting the beads and stuff for the Nora Corbett 12 Days of Christmas because I do want to add those into my rotation possibly next year. I might start collecting those soon. But that's it. That's all I have for stitching. Yeah, that's all. That's all I got. We did have one of our dogs passed away yesterday. And so he was an outside dog. He was one of our outside doggies, and he was one of my son's dogs. And we woke up and he was gone. We kind of knew that was going to happen. He wasn't doing too well, and he went and eaten yesterday. And so he had been really, really sick, and it was kind of the, well, if he's not better by tomorrow, you know, since it was Sunday, we'll take him to the vet. And we woke up and he was gone. So he went on his own, and so I guess, you know, it was kind of, it was sad. It was really sad. It was kind of a hard day. And so, anyway, that's about the only personal news I have going on in my life right now. My middle son's birthday is Sunday, so we're going to get together with the kids and do that. And then, that's pretty much it. That's all we got going on. It's all in my life. Plans for this week is to work one more day on Blue Moon Angel, and I don't know. I need to pick something for the rest of the week. I haven't decided. I worked on all these little smalls, and I kind of got into a small thing because I didn't want to pull anything out big during the weekend. But I think I might pull out. I've been talking about doing City of Romance. So I think I might pull that out because I haven't worked on that in a while, and I'm kind of in the mood to stitch something like that. So I might do that. Might pull out City of Romance after I finish with this one. And I also want to work on getting my dad's heritage piece started. So I don't know. We'll see. So I need to get the beads for the Shannon Christine thing. I think I might have them. If I don't, I'll put those in my next 1, 2, 3 stitch order. And that's it. That's my stitching plans. That's my life plans. that's pretty much it. That's all we have going on. And anyway, so I will see you guys next week. Check out Shannon Christine's blog. I will link her down below, and the other ladies that I've mentioned. And if you know of any FlossTubers out there that you really, really enjoy, let me know. If I'm not watching them, I'll check them out. I have a few that I absolutely sit down and watch every time they come out with a new video. And then I'm always looking for some new ones, especially those that I don't know, I'm kind of drawn to those now that stitch a little bit older designs. Like I really, really like Stitchin Mommy. She stitches some older designs, and I really like Dina Half Stitch Cross Stitch. She stitches some older things too, which it's kind of neat to watch. You know, they're not necessarily stitching the newest and they're pulling out some older pieces, and that's always fun to watch. You know, it's fun to watch that. And then Janet Jabber, I really like Janet Jabber. She stitches her queens every season, which I think is just absolutely gorgeous. And you know, she showcases some older things that she's made for her mom, which is really sweet. And anyway, so those are some that I like. So if you have any that you like to watch that maybe I need to check out, let me know. And I will see you guys next week, Lord willing. Bye-bye.